As we delve deeper into this collective existential crisis, we can explore how different spheres of contemporary human life intertwine to amplify this sense of disorientation and loss of meaning. The connection between climate change, political uncertainty, and automation is not just a temporal coincidence but the product of a complex and globalized system that exposes the vulnerabilities of the human condition. Let's start with climate change, perhaps the most visible and disturbing aspect of this collective crisis. Ecological collapse is not only a threat to humanity's physical survival but also a symbolic erosion of the foundations on which we have built our identities and values. Philosopher Timothy Morton uses the concept of hyperobjects to describe phenomena like global warming, vast, diffuse, and difficult to comprehend. Morton suggests that such phenomena exceed our capacity for understanding, plunging individuals into a state of existential paralysis. For Camus, confronting this reality can be compared to the myth of Sisyphus, condemned to push a rock uphill only to see it roll back down in an endless cycle. Climate change seems to present humanity with a similar scenario. Despite efforts to mitigate its impact, the results are often frustrating and inadequate. Here, Camus' absurd manifests on a global scale. We know we are doomed to face the consequences of our past actions, yet we continue to seek solutions in a world that is slipping away from us. This seemingly futile struggle, however, can be interpreted as a form of Camusian revolt. Even knowing that we cannot fully control the planet's future, the rebellion against the absurd drives us to act, to try to mitigate the damage, to find some meaning in the act of caring for the world around us. The dilemma lies in the fact that, collectively, we often fail to act with the necessary urgency, generating a sense of guilt and helplessness that deepens over time. Political uncertainty, in turn, exacerbates this sense of vulnerability. In a world marked by ideological conflicts, misinformation, and polarization, trust in traditional institutions, governments, democracies, the media, is in decline. For Sartre, politics should be an arena where human freedom can be exercised to its fullest, where the conscious choice of each individual would shape the collective destiny. However, when the political system seems to fail in providing clarity or justice, Sartrean freedom to act turns into widespread anxiety. Political uncertainty provokes a kind of existential nausea, as described in Sartre's work, where the excess of possibilities without clear direction leads to collective paralysis. Modern society finds itself in a sort of limbo, unable to trust its leaders but also lacking a clear alternative. This void of political direction reflects the essence of existentialism. In a world without pre-established values or ready-made answers, we are left alone to navigate the chaos. Yet, the responsibility of creating a new order, a new political or moral direction, falls on the collective, a burden few are willing to bear. Automation and the transformation of work add another layer of complexity to this existential crisis. The idea that work confers dignity and meaning to human beings is a central premise in capitalist societies. Work is not just an economic activity but a fundamental part of identity. When automation advances to the point of replacing a significant portion of the workforce, what remains for the individual beyond emptiness? The rise of artificial intelligence and robotics forces us to re-evaluate the very concept of human value. If machines can perform better, faster, and more efficiently, where does that leave us? Contemporary philosopher Byung-Chul Han discusses how automation leads to a performance-driven society, where individuals are pressured to constantly improve themselves, competing with machines and algorithms. In this context, the self becomes a project in a constant state of production and optimization. Sartre would argue that automation highlights the challenge of exercising our freedom authentically. How can we be free when the system we are part of increasingly dictates who we should be, how we should act, or even whether we are needed at all? Camus and Sartre, in their examination of the human condition in the face of absurdity and freedom, offer us powerful tools to reflect on this collective existential crisis but do not provide ready-made solutions. Camus' answer, Embracing the absurd and continuing, despite it, can be seen as an invitation for society to accept that we will not always have control or guarantees. Yet, the revolt against chaos, the fight for conscious action in an indifferent world, remains valid and necessary. Sartre, on the other hand, forces us to confront freedom in all its ambiguity. In a world where old certainties are crumbling, the responsibility to create new meanings and purposes is immense but cannot be avoided. He warns us of the dangers of succumbing to bad faith, of abandoning our freedom in favor of conventions or conformity, a dangerous temptation in times of political uncertainty and environmental crises. Thus, the collective existential crisis is not just a passive phenomenon but a call to action. It challenges us to confront our deepest fears and anxieties, to seek meaning where there seems to be none, and to reimagine the foundations of our existence in a world in constant transformation. This was today's reflection. Leave your comments below, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Keep philosophizing, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, it's not enough to gain wisdom, you must use it.